Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will speak about a company Gland Pharma Limited. This is one of the recent IPOs, not very recent though, it got listed somewhere in the year 2020 amid all the COVID problems. And before I begin the video, let me give you the disclaimer. This video is not an investment advice. Tequity Investing is a SEBI registered investment advisory company. At the time of making this video, Tequity Investing or our clients may have some exposure to this company. Please consult your financial advisor before making any investment decisions. All right, so this is the chart for the company Gland Pharma Limited, and this is since the time the company got listed. So the listing happened somewhere in the range of about 1900 rupees, and after that the company made a high of more than 4000 rupees, and from that high the company now trades at around 1400 rupees. All right, so if you take a look at the last 1 year returns for the company, you would see that the company has eroded its value by about 60%. Okay, now that's a substantial fall. Talking a little bit about the company, what the company basically does is they are into the manufacturing of injectables. Okay, so injectables are nothing but one form of administering medicines, right? The most common form is the oral form, basically the tablets and the capsules, all right? And injectables is the second most common form, all right. Now, what is so special about injectables? We will take a look at it. Why this company got on my radar? All right. The second very important point why found this company worth investing, worth researching is basically they are beginning to enter into the field of biosimilars. Now, what are biosimilars? Biosimilars are basically medicines which mimic the properties of biologics. Okay, what are biologics? Biologics are basically those medicines which are made from some living organisms. All right, so not exactly living organisms, but tissues of organisms that were living at some point in time. That is how I would put it. Okay, so biologics are different from our normal medicines because normal medicines are made only by chemical synthesis. Okay, whereas biologics are made and the source of those medicines is, like I told you, organisms, basically animals or organisms it could be, right? So the market for biologics is growing rapidly. Okay, and the reason is because biologics are complex molecules which are able to treat more complex diseases. Okay, as compared to the generic medicines. All right. Now, what's actually happening is in the coming 3 years, a lot of biologics molecules are going to go off patent in the USA and also in the Europe to some extent. And companies which are present in the manufacturing of biosimilars, they are going to have more molecules for manufacturing in the future. Okay, so if you take a look at the journey of pharma industry in India, how these companies have grown is basically all the molecules which go off patent in US. All right, our Indian pharma companies, they start the manufacturing of those medicines. Basically, the generic drugs is what I'm talking about. Now, similar phenomenon is likely to repeat in the biologic space, where a lot of molecules are likely to go off patent in the next 3 years, and companies which are establishing facilities here for manufacturing of biosimilars, they are going to see or they are likely to see a boost in their business in the coming 3 to 4 years. Okay. And let me tell you that manufacturing of biosimilars is a complex subject. It is not as easy as manufacturing of generic medicines, which are non biosimilars. All right. So let me go ahead. All right. So, like I said, this business that Gland Pharma operates into. So there are mainly two areas which look very interesting to me. Number one is injectables, and number two is biosimilars, which they are just beginning to get into. Okay. Now, both these areas, both these businesses, they have some high barriers to entry. Okay. So basically, they both these businesses are capital intensive. They require technical expertise. Okay, and like I said earlier, the manufacturing of these molecules is a complex process because the nature of these molecules is complex. The diseases that these molecules are supposed to treat are complicated diseases. Okay, and finally, because the area is tricky, because manufacturing these molecules is tricky, there are tighter regulations that these companies have to meet. Okay, so basically the US FDA regulations or the European regulator regulations. All right. So compared to our normal generic medicines, manufacturers of injectables and biosimilars are supposed to or required to meet tighter regulations. Okay. Now, if you combine all these 4 points, what you would see that this is kind of a this is kind of a competitive advantage for the company, Gland Pharma. Okay, because getting a combination of all these four factors is difficult. Okay, that is why you would see that in the manufacturing of injectables or biosimilars, not many smaller pharma companies are present. Okay, because of these factors that I've mentioned here. All right, now a little bit about the injectables market. So basically, this is I've taken it from the annual report of Gland Pharma. Okay, so in FY18, 47% of the market was, 47% of the drugs were administered using oral solids, basically capsules or tablets. Okay, 36% was injectables and 17% was others. Basically, there are more ways of, putting drugs in the human body. Uh, in FY22, the scenario has changed where injectables, if you can see, it has taken a higher pie of the overall market. Okay, in 18 it was 36%, and in FY22 it is 42%. So, like I said earlier, injectables is growing faster than normal medicines, and it is also evident on the from the chart on the right hand side, where you can see that in the last 4 to 5 years, injectables has grown at a rate of about 10%, whereas oral solids has grown at a rate of about 3.22%. Okay, so the prospects for injectables look really bright. And why is that so? So let us talk a little bit about why do injectables, why do the prospects of injectables look bright? Number one, chronic ailments like cancer, diabetes require injectables. Okay, so you would have seen a lot of patients who inject insulin into their bodies. Okay, some people do it once a day, some people do it twice a day. It depends on how severe the diabetes is. Okay, and patients of these diseases are growing due to sedentary lifestyle. Okay, so because of lifestyle changes and because of urbanization, the number of cases of diabetes and other chronic ailments like cancer, it is definitely on a rise. All right, the second very important point is this is kind of an enabler for the injectables business. Okay, so basically new drug delivery system, NDDS. Now, earlier it used to happen that not many people used to like to go for injectable medicines because it was difficult to administer those medicines to themselves. Okay, so basically giving yourself an injection used to be a difficult task, right? But there has been innovation in this area, and new devices or new technologies like auto injectors and pen injectors have come up. Okay, because of which more and more patients are open to using the injectable medicines, right? And finally, there are new diseases which are being discovered. There are new drugs which are being discovered to treat these new diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, different types of cancers. Now, cancers, the field is very much well researched today, and a lot of innovation keeps happening in cancer. A lot of different therapies, medicines keep coming in this area. All right, so most of the medicines for cancer, okay, I'm not talking about the radiotherapy medicines, but most of the other drugs which are administered for cancer, they are given as a form of injectables. Okay, so these are the 3 points because of which the injectables market is growing fast, and not just historically, it is also quite likely that in the coming 5 to 10 years, the injectables market will grow at a higher rate than the oral solids market, right? So this is all about the company. Now, where is the catch? Why has the share price collapsed the way it is? Because, like I'm saying, this is a great company. This is a great area to be in. Then why is the market not giving it the required valuation? So basically, if you see the history of this company, it is owned by a Chinese company known as Fosun Pharmaceuticals. Okay, it is a Hong Kong listed pharmaceutical major, and they also have a presence in other areas like real estate and all. All right. So Fosun acquired around 75% stake in Gland Pharma from a group of investors in 2017, and they paid around 1.1 billion dollars for this transaction. Okay, so if you calculate the valuation of this transaction, the enterprise value comes to about 1.47 billion dollars. right? Now, the catch here is that Fosun's financial situation is not very strong, and in fact, it is deteriorating, and because of which they are thinking of selling Gland Pharma. Okay. Now, the current market capitalization of Gland Pharma, it comes to about $2.8 billion. Okay. So, if you take a look at it from Fosun's perspective, what they had done was in 2017 they purchased it at a valuation of $1.47 billion, and today the valuation is about $2.8 billion, right? So, from a perspective of Fosun, the company has doubled their money in 5 years. Okay, that is what they have been able to achieve. Okay, now doubling money in 5 years on such a huge base, it is actually a very good thing. So what exactly is the problem? Why is Fosun not selling Gland Pharma or not able to sell Gland Pharma? These points we do not know today. However, from what I understand is that Fosun is trying to sell Gland Pharma, but they are not able to get the desired buyer at the desired price point. Okay, and see, the market is smart. The market knows that at some point Fosun may get desperate to sell, to sell Gland Pharma, and the market is actually waiting for Fosun to make its first move. Okay, so despite the business being strong, I see some dynamics playing out here where the buyers are waiting to kind of arm twist the seller, because the buyers know that the seller is in need of money and he may dispose it off for a, for a cheaper price. All right. And also understand that the buyers are aware of how much money Fosun is making in this deal. So Fosun got this company for $1.47 billion and it is selling it for $2.8 billion. So there is some kind of a negotiation that I can sense going on, between Fosun and the prospective buyers in this case. Okay. Now there is another very important point that I wish to highlight is if Fosun were to sell Gland Pharma. Okay, see, Fosun today holds about 57% in Gland Pharma. So if they are going to dispose of more than 25%, then as per the SEBI regulations, they have to come up with an open offer. Okay. Now, open offer basically means that Fosun will give an option to the minority shareholders like you and I to exit the company. Okay, because SEBI says that if there is a change in control, okay, earlier Fosun was the promoter of this company. Now some other XYZ party may be the promoter of this company. So before this transition happens, the minority shareholder should have an option of exiting the company because there is a huge change in the company, right? So there is a formula for deciding the floor price of this open offer, and let me just show you how this is going to look like. So the formula says that the floor price should be higher of the average price of the share over the last 52 weeks, okay, or the highest price paid by the acquirer in 26 weeks before the announcement. Now the announcement for Fosun is not yet done. Okay, so this point we can ignore for the time being, right? Then the third point is the average market price of the share in 60 days preceding the announcement, right? So the announcement is not yet done, so at this point for the time being we can ignore, and or the highest negotiated price under the share purchase agreement. So the share purchase agreement has not still been signed, and that's why we can ignore the fourth point also. So basically, if we look at how much would be the floor price of Gland Pharma today, if a new acquirer were to give an open offer today, it will be the average price of the share over the last 52 weeks. Now let me quickly take you to the price chart for Gland Pharma and show you how this would exactly look like. What is the average price of the last 52 weeks? So I'll just put weekly filter here, and I'll put the 52-week moving average here, which will give us the possible the floor price for the open offer if it were to come today. All right, so this is the line that we are talking about. Just ignore the lower two lines. This lower line, I think, is the 25-week moving average. So the 52-week moving average for Gland Pharma today, it comes to around 2,400 rupees. Okay. Now think about it from the perspective of a new buyer. Okay, he is going to pay Fosun at the rate of probably 1,400 rupees. All right, but as per the SEBI formula, if he has to give an open offer, okay, it will be at the price of nothing lesser than this particular 52-week moving average, which is about 2400 to 2500 rupees. Okay, so today buyers who are buying Gland Pharma at about 1400 to 1500 rupees, they will be facing a jackpot if something like this happens. Okay. However, from my understanding of the situation, what I feel is that the sale is unlikely to happen till the 52-week moving average. It comes down to the level of 1300 to 1400 rupees. Okay, so from what I can see or what I can sense is that there is uh, there is a very low likelihood that there will be a big jump in the share price of of Gland Pharma immediately. Okay, however, as and when the sale concludes, we can see good gains for the shareholders. All right. So if you're someone who has purchased about 3,000 rupees, and presently you're sitting at about 50 to 60% loss of your capital, I think you can hold the company. Okay, because the situation is developing fast. It's not developing fast, but it's not deteriorating also. Okay, see, one of the concerns in this company is that Fosun is a Chinese company, and personally I'm not very comfortable to put big money on a company where the promoters are Chinese. All right, so I have a small position in this company in one of the small case portfolios, Momentum Magic. All right, however, I am monitoring the situation and I may exit the position if the stock price falls more. Okay, and I will keep this company on radar for change of ownership to happen. After which I feel that this company has great prospects. All right. So that's all I have for now. Thank you for making it to the end. Okay. And if you like the video, do subscribe to the channel and share the video with your friends. And do not forget to check our small cases. Basically, we have two portfolios there. One is the Rising Superstars, and second is Momentum Magic. That's all. Thank you very much.